Welcome to Spawn Respawn, a weekly podcast dedicated to gaming news, culture, and nostalgia. On this, our 7th episode, we're going to be talking about the game moments that have had the biggest impact on us, as well as more E3 related news and previews and more. Well, my name is Dylan Smith, and I'm joined by Elliot Porter.
How you going?
Mitchell Barnsley.
Ahoy, hoy.
And Kat Gerritsen.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, what's good? So, who wants to lead us into our first topic of the day?
I can start off.
Well, let's do it, baby.
Just a bit of a sort of what I've been playing and kind of like a little bit of a update where it's at, or my opinion on it realistically. Hearthstone, if anyone cares about that whatsoever. I know you don't, Elliot.
I'm a swerve on that.
Hey, I've played that game.
Yeah, we kind of got a new expansion out, roughly, for it. I wouldn't say expansion. I already had the expansion out, but it's kind of like more added to it.
There's new shit.
Extra content.
Extra content, I'd say.
Cool.
And it's been hella dope. Like, so fun. Like, it's basically their solo adventures are you're given random decks and random hero powers and stuff like that most of the time, and you generally just go through 8 different bosses, and you just have and each one gets harder and harder to beat. But they kind of added a twist to it, where there's gonna be like few different chapters itself. Each time you beat a certain amount of bosses or your different challenges they like give you, you will actually get different rewards based on that to use for different heroes and stuff like that.
Nice.
So it's just a little spin to what they already had, but it's been nice and fun and enjoyable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool because like I hate building my own decks because I'm trash. I have no strategic knowledge at all.
Where's your strat, Cat?
Yeah, I'm real bad. So if you can give me a random deck to play, I'm all about it.
You kind of still have to. You kind of build it still. Like after each boss you defeat, it'll give you like 3 different options to pick from, which will be like 3 different cards.
Yeah. And you just add
So
that. Yeah,
you just add them in.
Yeah, completely different because that's just like upgrading
Yeah.
a deck. If I have to build a deck from the start,
no. Nope.
I'm in the trash because I'm like, I'm going to add 3 1s, 3 5s, and 70 10s. I know you can't have that many cards.
No, but it pretty much just means you can kind of build your deck based on what it's already themed around.
Yeah.
And
I like
you can get some pretty like creative stuff coming up, and I've had some wicked funny games doing it.
I like
so.
that.
Good times.
Yeah, I've
Sicky.
never played Hearthstone.
Me neither.
I'm never
I played
probably
Gwent
never
for
going to do
about-
it.
And that's okay. That's okay. That's cool.
Did you play a lot of Gwent though?
I did play a Gwent. I was hooked on it after I finished The Witcher 3.
You would.
I played it for about a month or so, and then
Oh yeah.
I got sick of it.
Yeah.
That's,
That's my life story.
And that's the end of that chapter.
I mean, to be fair, that's how I play Hearthstone. Like, I open it up and I'll play it for maybe a week, like, delete it from my computer. And then a
Goodbye.
few months later, I'll re-download.
Is there any difference between like the PC release and the mobile copy?
No,
Hearthstone?
exactly
No.
the same.
Exactly
Your
the same.
account links.
Oh, yeah, I
so
can
sad,
not
yeah.
play it on 2 platforms. That's super cool.
I know, right? So good.
I'm going to stop talking shit about Hearthstone now. But who else wants to tell us what you've been playing this week?
I've
Go
been
Cat, yeah.
playing,
You're stinging to let us know. Go on.
yeah, I am.
Dinging.
I forgot I'd played it this week, but now that I remembered it, I love it.
Great game.
We've
man.
been playing, it's because I've been playing it co-op with Cal, been playing Rampage Nights, which is basically kind of like a RPG roguelite type of thing. You go in and you have to make it through the rooms full of hordes of enemies. You have like barely any life. You get whatever weapon you pick up, maybe an ability, and it's really, really hard. And we play on like, I think we play on easy because we were just like, this is too hard and we're not having fun. We'll put the difficulty down so we can have fun. And it's still so hard. We die so much. And if you die, you can resurrect your like other player by killing 10 enemies. We've managed to do that like very few times because it's really, really hard. And then when you die, it takes like when both of you die, it takes you right back to the start. But not to the town, so you can't like alter anything or buy anything. It just takes you to the start of the dungeon. Really confusing, really hard, but it is good fun. It has like, you'll pick up a potion, you drink it, and you've got arse disease now. Or like, I picked
Actual
up
arse
arse
disease.
disease. And it's like, what does that mean?
Wait.
And like, I picked up another one. It was like a chicken egg potion or something, and I just got to mash the X button until I lay my egg, which then we can eat for health. So that one's not too bad.
That's awesome. I
What
want
is this
this
called
game.
Pretty
again?
good. Rampage Nights. Like,
Rampage.
Page
Nice.
Nights.
yeah, it's pretty chill, and it like we just play it like local co-op.
Yeah.
So, but it does have online co-op as well. But it's just like really random. Got some funny
Yeah, the
weapons
I'm
and
just
abilities.
having a look at a video for it. The graphics look awesome. It's like full.
It's kind of like it doesn't really look like it, but it reminds me of Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
It's
Love
very-
that game.
Yeah, it's
so
very
much.
Linear. Like obviously you can walk up and down and left and right, but the fighting is linear.
And the animations look really cool and cartoony.
Yeah, and it's super fun because like I play on a controller, you can play on a keyboard, obviously. But like if you attack and you jump, then you can break shields. If you attack and you're holding down, you can pick people up and like whip them around in a cyclone and chuck them, and like
Sick.
you can stomp on their heads when they fall over, and like it's pretty brutal as well. But there's like the variety of enemies is huge, and also like all the potions and the magic items you can get is crazy. There's one that's like the magic item is a Santa head and it follows you around and it just spits snowballs.
What
like,
the hell?
It's so weird.
Sick.
But it's so fun. Really hard, but really fun.
How much did it cost?
I think we actually got it in a bundle. Like we were just looking for new stuff to play and we were like,
Oh,
this
cool.
is a multiplayer. I'm pretty sure we got it in a bundle, but I think it's only like 20-ish bucks, if that.
Sick. Yeah.
It's saying, well, that's probably about right because it's saying here like $11.99 USD. So
Yeah,
that
so
probably
probably-
adds up
Yeah,
about the same.
20-ish bucks.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's
That
really
was
fun.
cool.
So that's what I've been playing.
Good times.
Hell yeah, dog. What about you, Elliot?
I've not been playing anything except FIFA 19. So
Nice.
What is your excuse?
He's kicking balls.
I was on holidays getting pissed playing FIFA.
Good enough.
It was good times.
Sounds good to
sounds-
It
me.
was really good fun. Bought FIFA every year for the last 5 years, but then realised it's just the same every year.
I was gonna ask.
So I didn't
like,
buy this
what-
one.
I don't play like FIFA, but like, what is
Yeah.
the difference every year? It feels like it's just
Nothing. It's like a
bug
code of,
fixes.
a code, sometimes a coat of paint and new players, and that's it. Like, so I just stopped buying it. But my mate brought it up, so yeah, we played it and smashed career mode for like a few nights, and
Nice.
it was good fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
pissed as co-op. It was fun. It was really good.
Many a
always good.
brain cell was lost to FIFA.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, right. It
was good times.
Can't blame you for it.
How about yourself?
How about me?
Yeah,
well, I've
Dylan.
been playing Old Reliable. I went back and played a game that I meant to have played a long time ago, but I was playing God of War.
Oh, nice.
We all know how good that game is, how ultra brutal the combat is,
I
how
don't
much
know.
we love and hate the little boy that follows you
Oh, I
around.
love him.
Atreus.
I love
You
him.
can't
Yeah,
hate Atreus.
Are you up to the part where you hate him? Is that basically
No,
where you are? or-
I'm not. I do think he's pretty cool. Like, okay, all right, I'm going to tell you about this one little part that I got up to where I was just like, what a boy!
What a boy!
There's a point, I don't know what the hell's going on, but like Kratos goes into this massive like pillar of light type deal, and he's
Oh
like,
yeah, I know exactly where you
and
are.
he's like going into it, he's like pushing himself into it, he's like heaps painful and whatnot, but he goes in there and like time in the pillar of light or wherever
the
he
light
goes.
of Alfheim.
The light of Alfheim, thank you very much. Apparently, he's in there for what he felt like was moments, but was hours and hours and hours for Atreus. So he goes in there, and the area around this pillar of light has no enemies around it, and he's just like, hurry up. So he comes out, and there's just bodies everywhere.
the bodies hit the floor.
everywhere. And he's like, Kratos is looking around being like, did he
Yeah, I love that.
Did you notice?
And he's
in
just
that
like,
scene,
you were gone a long time. I was like, what?
It's a really, really good emotional scene. But did you notice as well that the axe is in like one of the enemies as well? It's like, did you use it? Like, did you
must
swing
have.
that big boy?
You definitely
did you
would
swing
have
that
had to.
Leviathan? Like,
He killed so many people. And I was just like, maybe this kid's not around.
right? Apparently, it's like
I reckon he's-
half a day to a day's worth of time
That's
You reckon?
crazy.
for that scene. Apparently so.
Yeah, right.
According to Corey. Corey
So
himself.
I've only
Poor little kid.
started to recognize just how amazing God of War is because I was like
Yes.
playing it a little bit. Turns out, get this, I'm an idiot, right? And I knew we knew that, but I was playing on hard, and I was like,
Oh.
this
Yeah.
game sucks. Like it's too difficult. I didn't realize I had a difficulty thing going on there. I could've just
Right.
maybe knocked it down to normal, but no, I'm an idiot and I had it on hard. But now I'm enjoying it way more.
Yeah, you didn't change it?
I changed it to normal.
Oh, okay,
okay.
right, yeah.
I
yeah.
still respect you as a person.
Not easy. Normal.
I'm kidding.
What are you
Continue
talking
on.
about?
Continue
I,
on. I'm just joking.
I'm not some kindergarten little mother. Anyway, point being, I'm enjoying the game. The
Combat
thoroughly
is
more.
so good.
So good.
It really is just one of those 10 out of 10 games. Like, the combat is insane. The feeling of when the axe comes
returns.
back to you. I don't know how
it's so
they
good.
did that.
It
So
feels so
satisfying.
impactful.
Oh,
Like, boosh.
yes.
When you do like that hold down for like the big over the head and it hits
cuts
a
him in
dude,
half.
just like boosh. Oh, it feels so good.
It does. You feel like that big dick energy just comes to swing, and it's so good. And
There's
even
my
if you
daily energy coming out.
yeah,
Boosh.
dude. And even when you like, even Atreus, man, like he can. Is that his name? Am I saying
Yes,
that right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So like, the dude's like invincible, which is pretty baller in the first
Yeah.
place. But also like, then he starts shooting those spirit arrows. I'm sure he
Yeah.
gets better and better stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If you level him up, he is like super OP. Like
Yeah,
he's
legit.
so good. Like
you can't kill a child.
you couldn't kill a child, could
It's
you?
true. It's true.
where are you in the story?
Yeah, you just after the light of Alfheim or a bit
I
further?
guess so. Where am I after that? Because like I think I kind of got lost for a little bit, and I was like,
Just
oh,
doing
I'm gonna
side
leave it here.
quests?
Because it was I always get home like late, and by the time I end up playing games, I'm already tired. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't really remember where I'm up to at this point, but somewhere around there after that point.
I think
That's
I
what-
might start New Game Plus. All this like talk of God of War lately. I'm like, I think I might
Go
play it
back
again.
Me
Yeah.
too.
That-
I
My
was
dude's
thinking
like
that.
heaps leveled up and stuff. So
Well, I ended up like I finished the game and all that, and I did a lot of the side quests. But once I finished the game, I pretty much stopped after that. Got to the secret ending as well, but I think
yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Juicy.
Which all you need to do is just go home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's a,
Just letting you know.
the
like,
game
don't
literally
forget to
tells
go
you
home.
to
Yeah.
go home.
Yeah.
Really?
The game just tells you, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't.
I won't tell you what the ending is.
Yeah,
but just go
that's good to
home
know. I'll go
after the
home.
end of the game.
I literally feel inclined to go home after this and just buy God of War.
It's
Do it, man.
really good.
Like, I'm probably going to.
It's one of the
like,
best games.
horrible.
of
I
all
was
time.
thinking, like, do I replay it
We've
now?
all got it.
Because I only played it at the start of the year.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I could just buy
Everyone's
the
looking
game
at me
myself.
saying like, cut it out, like they're doing the whole hand thing across their throat.
I'll just
I don't
buy it
have
myself.
it.
So that way I've got the copy and I don't have to worry about
I had it.
handing it back to anyone. So
Good for the finances. Yeah, no stress, man. That's all good.
But yeah, like, I don't know if I want to replay it now or if I want to... Like, I only played it the start of the year, so it's pretty fresh.
Oh
for me.
yeah, of course. Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
played it when it came out. So like, I finished it. Tried to kill all the Valkyries, but
Valkyries?
some of them were just like too tough, and I was like, stuff it.
Because
Rough.
I
I
think I
know
had
there was
3 to
whole
go.
there was a
Two,
whole
two,
realm
three.
I didn't even go to. The one with
The mist echoes.
Yeah, that one. I didn't go
It's
there.
actually really fun.
it,
It's like
it looks really fun, and I probably really enjoy it. Like, that's the type of stuff that I really like.
like a
but I never
roguelike kind of thing.
went there.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, potentially. Look, I'm just going to keep my hopes out that one day soon we'll get some more knowledge on God of War and its potential sequel.
Yeah,
And-
because they said they're not doing DLC, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they're not doing DLC.
Which
so,
fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so good as its self-contained game. But potentially once they announce the next one, then I can play it leading up to
Yeah.
the next game. And then
Hell
I'll just be
yeah.
like, instead of having that feel of like, I want to play the next one now, which is exactly what I got at the end of the first one, I'll be like, and I can!
Yeah.
I can play it! Pop
how-
in the disc!
That's how I feel about the Marvel movies right now. Speaking of God of War,
Thank you.
hey, stole your segue. Sony Santa Monica and Sony have released the old Raising Kratos documentary.
Gang, gang.
It's bloody
So
amazing.
good.
It's almost as good as the game.
It's so good. Like it is legitimately one of the coolest things I have ever watched out of any media. Like regular movies that are shown in theaters included. Like it is just so good. Like
So it's better than the end game. All right,
absolutely,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
top tier. But like
Cool.
Can I just-
Z.
can I just ask a question? Has any company done this before where they've done like a documentary
Not
on themselves?
not like this.
not.
There's a lot
the
of
actual
behind the
developer.
scenes stuff, but not really not like
Yeah,
this at all.
And there's
But-
like no clip, but then
Yeah.
they're kind of doing their own thing. This has got to be the first like
proper
in studio. Like they must have thought, yeah, we should just record this from the get go.
Yeah.
Because there's footage from like 2013 in
yeah
there.
footage like of them between studios, and then there's just like as well like self filmed stuff like from phones and things like that. So I thought that as well while I was watching it. I was like, this is really really well thought out, because not only do you have like obviously the interview sections with people that are clearly done throughout time as well,
Yeah.
also proved by the fact that they're wearing different outfits, not just what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Although they could have just changed off to the side.
And also the big conversation like around the table where it's like all
Yeah.
the heads of like the teams are all like around this huge feast that looks very Nordic in itself.
yeah,
And it's
really
like
cool.
they're kind of, I guess, reminiscing.
Yeah, that's like a wrap.
On on the whole project. It's so good.
And they have like cameras, like I'm just gonna say like security camera style, like throughout their offices, so you can see like what happened day to day. Like, I don't know how far you got into it, Mitch, because like right after we were talking last week about like working conditions and stuff, and I went straight into watching the God of War documentary, and they like touch on that all throughout, like how their lives have been affected by what they're working on, and how what they're working on has been affected by their lives, and how, you know, there's a part in there where they've got like the big screen up behind them and it's just like thanks a bunch with all the bananas falling down. They're like, thank you for all your extra time that you've spent here and all that sort of stuff.
Get up to that bit.
It was so like, I was just like, this is perfect, because you could like, they are literally crying in their interviews and talking about how like one lady went through a divorce, one lady didn't even want to talk about it. I can't remember their names because I'm so bad at names, as you know. But like two of like the higher ups on the project, they asked them, you know, what it's been like sacrificing things, and one of them could answer and the other one was just like, I don't want to answer that question right now. Like, they're so affected by it as a whole, and it was like, it's so good.
It was really cool kind of getting Corey's, like, because he's such like a front man for that whole studio, and hearing him, because he was the creative director for God of War 2.
Yeah.
And like hearing him compare his real life and how he gets inspiration for his games. Like when it was God of War 2, it was like he got inspiration from him being a son
and his
like
dad,
in his dad, who like obviously Zeus and Kratos, but then now he's a father and he was doing this. He's so much inspiration came from the fact that the son was now the father, and I just thought that was really like such a cool way to kind of come up with this idea that like really like that game is like above everything.
Yeah.
Like that's just got to be in that list of like best ever video games. The whole one
absolutely.
camera cut, and the fact that they pulled it off. Like this documentary could have, so many ways this documentary may never have seen the light of day if they had have failed. They obviously wouldn't bring this doco out being like, yeah, we screwed up with...
oh, they might have. It could have been a good
Ascension,
way to shed the light on it.
Yeah, true. But I don't think PlayStation would have wanted to if they like canned the project and fired 300 people or, you know, something like that.
And all that sort of stuff as well. Like, we obviously know that God of War was a huge success, but watching through like the chronological timeline of them creating the game and seeing the like pressures and the struggles that they came up against with like
E3.
Yeah, and like the exec
crazy.
from Sony coming in and being like,
Yeah,
not
Shuhei.
saying I wasn't happy with what I saw, but that he was absolutely
Horrified.
horrified by what he saw.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like,
I was like,
oof.
oh my God.
Like the whole time,
Yeah.
even though I know obviously God of War is a great game and I played the whole thing, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what happened next though?
Yeah.
Like,
And like them saying like they put together a 9 or 10 minute thing for E3. It took them
A year and
18
a
months
half.
to get that far.
What?
They had like to get that far in the production of the game. And then
then they had a year
they
and a
had
half left.
18 months left to finish
finish
the
it.
project, and they had 10 minutes of the game done. So it's like it seems insane. And they, with crunch and like probably terrible working conditions, and I haven't got that far up to it yet, so I don't know exactly. But you know, they did pull it off, which is, you know, it just goes to show like
Doesn't
the
seem like
pressure
it was
they are.
too horrible.
Yeah.
But obviously, you'd probably want to gloss over that as well. They just talk
especially
about,
if you're Sony making the,
exactly. They just talk a lot about how people are making sacrifices and thanking people for staying
Yeah,
longer hours
yeah.
and putting their all into it, that sort of thing.
I pretty much got to the part where Sonny and I forget the guy's name, the guy from Stargate,
Christopher
obviously.
Judge.
Yeah.
Judge. Oh, he's so cool.
I only know him
Boy.
from Stargate, so
Yeah.
if anyone even knows what that is, but honestly,
Stargate.
watching the documentary though, I've always like so many people have talked about how good God of War is and how great the game's been. And I've just been like, yeah, cool, whatever, you know, that's your thing, blah blah blah. Watching the documentary, I went, you know what? I'm kind of on board. I want to give it a go. And then obviously seeing you guys talk about it, obviously, you know, just a few minutes ago, being about how passionate you guys are about the game. And
it's
I'm
so
like,
sick.
all right, fine. I'll give it a go because I'm probably going to like it.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you can't like it. Like, there's like you'll
Don't
play
tempt
it.
Don't play it on hard for sake, don't play it on
No, do it. You'll be good.
All right, I'll put it on.
like
I'll play it on hard
Do it
then.
on the
Yeah, you
second
beat
hardest.
Sekiro.
Do it on the second hardest, because if you put it on the hardest one, you can't change the difficulty. So
Oof.
just go on second hardest and go.
This
from
is
there.
hard.
I'll
That's
go.
what I did.
I'll go big dick energy on this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Don't
did.
listen to Cat.
I played it on that and I got through it.
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm
you've
a
got the
little
biggest
bit,
dick of all of us. So
Yeah,
what are you
you're
talking
right.
about?
Oh shit.
Put that thing away, young lady. God damn it.
But like one of the parts of the documentary that was my favorite was the behind the scenes section of the 2016 E3 demo.
That was amazing.
Oh my
Corey's
gosh.
like freaking
Oh
out.
my god. It was so like
looking-
you know, like obviously from our perspective, obviously we know there's a lot of hard work that goes into games and stuff, but you're like, man, they're so good at what they do. To see it from that perspective is so humanizing, and
Yeah.
like I feel like potentially, hopefully, this documentary is a great way to again push for that like better working conditions, because you can see these are people. They're
Yeah,
trying their best.
yeah.
They are crying about this, like they are worrying about it day in, day out. Like
And like just the fact that they managed to have like the full orchestra there.
right,
Like-
oh my god.
And it was I think it was the start of the entire show. So it was like no one knew what that was going to be. Corey was behind the scenes playing it live. Like
right.
that could have just
well, he
been
was up on the side as well. Like
yeah,
everyone could
yeah.
see him. I don't think it was the start. I think it was quite a way into
Oh,
the
was it?
conference.
Okay, right.
But it was just like
But, like,
completely out of the blue.
The crowd just
The
goes
crowd!
nuts, and like in the documentary it goes through all like people who are streaming like watch-alongs, like losing their shit. Like everyone is just going, oh my god, it's Kratos, like holy shit.
Literally, people like
Everyone's-
standing up
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
auditorium, like yeah.
Yeah, the whole crowd
You see,
went
like,
mental.
Corey trying not to smile, and he just like lets it loose, like he's just sitting there, just like so giddy playing.
And
he's
the
like, it
composer-
worked, but now I have to get through the game.
The composer standing there like conducting the orchestra, and as everyone's going nuts, he's just like big smile on his face, and he's saying like, I still get chills thinking about it, because it was just like the orchestra had to play live to the gameplay, because that could
Yeah.
obviously be a little bit different, like if Corey didn't do like an attack in a certain pattern or whatever.
If he got hit by some like
Yeah.
random.
And they were saying he even
Fault.
like mantled perfectly and like took out these enemies perfectly, and everything just went really,
Really
really well.
well.
And
Yeah,
it's
nice.
just like so much goes into that 10 minutes that really like for the public as well get so much out of that.
Yeah.
Like, and
Even just, like the part where like Christopher Judge again coming back to
Yeah.
good old mate here, he's like you never get that reaction.
Yeah.
Like we're just like, oh, it was like what is the line? He's like
he's so funny. I can't.
he's like talking about like going to hunt us deer. He's just like, oh Tesh, go get us some food, and everyone's like, he was losing his mind. He's like, I can't believe it. Like
There's that bit where they're like doing the voice recordings with like him and Freya, and she's like, "Can you go pick me something cress?" And he's like, "Watercress. I'm the f***ing god of war." And they're like, "Oh, I hope you leave that in the game." And I was like, yeah, "They did not leave that in the game. That'd be so f***ing funny though." So yeah,
It's so good.
so good.
And after I watched that documentary, like the impression it had on me was so large that I just went and watched a bunch of spoiler casts and like podcasts where Corey was on,
Sick,
and like
yeah.
them asking about like what happened and like why the turtle's called Charlie and like all that sort of stuff. Like I was just like,
Didn't they get the
I was like,
inspiration for that
"Everything's
turtle
so
from the
good."
garden? Is that what is that
no, I think
No?
that was just a running joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they called it Charlie because I can't remember who it was. Someone wrote an article and they called the kid Charlie for whatever reason.
yeah.
And they were like, where the hell did you get the name Charlie from? So they ended up just calling the turtle Charlie.
Yeah,
And they were just
yeah,
like,
because
whatever.
they thought Atreus' name was Charlie.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
right? Yeah.
yeah, right? What a good name.
Kratos' son, Charlie. Yeah,
This is
no.
my
funny.
son, Charlie.
It seemed like they didn't come up with the name of Atreus for ages. And I don't know
Yeah,
if
they
that's
said
later
that.
on in it, but the whole way through, they're like, the sun.
Yeah, he's
and
got
they're calling-
sun written on his chest and stuff like that,
What,
like
the
as a part of
character
his
model?
gear. Yeah,
Oh, what?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
so in their like their mocap gear, it just says like sun. So
Boy.
yeah, I think
He was so good at his.
I think
his
in
role.
maybe one of the other things that I watched afterwards, they talked about how they didn't have his name for a really long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
because I think there's obviously the balance of is it a Norse name, is it not, all that sort of stuff, and more spoilers that I won't talk about.
Yeah, I was about to say, and spoilery stuff, but it's just so good to see that behind the scenes. I hope more studios do that.
Yeah,
Because-
I would love to see it for so many games because it's honestly like really inspiring as well to be like, look at the struggle these people went through for 5 years and they created this amazing thing. Like,
That is going to be hopefully remembered for forever.
I think so. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely one of the best games I've ever played. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
putting it right at the top of my list.
And it's
so.
like, yeah, old games like are amazing, and there's a lot of memorable games from the history of video games. But like this game hits every note, like
Yeah.
graphics, gameplay,
Story,
story,
mechanics, everything.
yeah, like even the RPG systems, I think are just
Yeah,
awesome.
so
like
good.
the gear and like the
side stories as well are like there's whole sections of the game like I said, I didn't even go into one of the realms, but
Yeah.
even more than that, there's whole like temples / castle areas that you might not ever see. Like it's so good.
dragons.
Did you see that part in the documentary where Corey's reading the reviews for the first time?
No, I'm not up to that yet.
Oh, it's just like I believe he released it himself because he just
And
filmed
he's like
it.
bawling.
He just cries immediately, for the part that they show in the documentary, they don't tell you what the score was until a little bit later. But apparently, if I'm remembering correctly, it's when its reviews released, it had 40 perfect reviews, and it had a
Wow.
94% rating. It's so good.
That's in the like top 10 or 20
It's insane.
ever. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10. That's for sure.
You can understand
Easily.
why he was obviously very emotional and very moved by it then, because obviously watching the documentary, it obviously showcased just how much work went into that to obviously get them to where they were, the struggles
Yeah.
that they had. So seeing that hard work pay off beyond his expectations, obviously that just took the cake, really.
Absolutely. And you can see later at the end of the documentary as well where they had an initial release date that they couldn't make, and everyone freaking out, and Corey being like, everyone's telling me we can't make it, but are saying, we'll push and we'll make it. And he's been like, no, I hear what you guys are saying. We're not going to make it. We have to cut this. We have to reorganize what we're doing. That must be so hard.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. Anyone who hasn't seen it that has any interest in games at all, game development, just playing games, just have a look at it because it's 2 hours of your life, but it's definitely worth it.
It's like a full movie length thing, and it's
Dude, and I was
awesome.
like, are they gonna get it? Is that I know they finished well in the end, but the whole way through I was like,
Yeah.
what's next? Is it gonna go well? So good.
it really was amazing. Good work, Sony.
Absolutely. 10 out of 10. I'm so
Yeah, just
excited
make
for what's
more.
next. Yeah.
Make more documentaries.
Well, Corey said 5 more games that he has planned.
Oof.
5 more documentaries.
5 more documentaries. He's splitting it up. It's going to be episodic. No, but
This one nearly killed him, and he wants to make 4 more or 5 more.
5 more. But
I
he
think
said, it's not going to take anywhere near 5 years to make another game.
They don't
so-
have to reimagine one of the most iconic people in video game history.
Yeah.
They just need to
He said-
create an epic story, I
Yeah.
guess.
He said basically
Just
when
create
he
an epic
just
story.
create an epic
just.
story.
Well, a little thing.
He
to do.
said basically when he created the first game, he created the storyline for all of it. So if he gets to make the
Wow.
future games,
Yeah.
you'll be able to look back at the first game and be like, wow, you hinted to that.
That's sick.
There's stuff that happens right at the end of the game. And he was saying, if you look at, the starting area, you will find clues to that. It'll just be there. You don't know it at that point, but it's there. So apparently that trend will continue through all of the games, which is...
I just feel like
cool.
from the way you just talked about it so far, he said, I think it was God of War 2, did you say? That
Yeah,
he was
he
game
was
director of that,
creative,
and it was
yeah.
sort of based off, he took his inspiration from, his relationship with his father and him.
Yeah.
And then, obviously for the most current one, it's, him having a son and stuff like that. So, I know you just said that he's lined this all up, but when I was hearing that, I was thinking, oh, what? He's going to have, a daughter now, and she's going to be added into, this whole, series, and that's where it's going to take off from there, and he's just
Maybe
going to
so,
keep
you don't
using
know.
his life as an example.
Hey, maybe.
You don't know.
Kratos gets a new honey, apparently. Just keeps making new kids.
New babbers.
Well, that's enough about God of War.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe we might move on to our next topic if it's all right with you guys.
Yeah.
What about our most impactful game moments? Now, I know throughout the week you've been thinking about what's the single most impactful moment? What's the one that really got you going? Either brought you to tears or moved you personally. So I'm going to start with Kat.
Alrighty.
Oof.
I mean, I know you already talked probably 70% of this.
I'm sorry. Look, I'll try and keep it nice and quick. You're right. I do talk a lot.
No, take your time.
So through the week when I was thinking about it, I was like, what? Like, I was trying to think of different examples, and this was the only one that I kept coming back to, and it was Transistor right at the end. That game is beautiful. Again, probably one of my favorite games ever. Yeah, what's up?
Transistor, made by who? And why can't I think of what that game looks like?
Look, I'm gonna say it's Supergiant Games.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the name.
Yeah.
Of the studio, the guys that made Bastion and Pyre. If you've played either of those games.
Yeah, that is Supergiant and making Hades.
Yeah. I believe so.
Yes, you are right.
Yes, I feel like I would have called it like super small or some shit and got it wrong.
I feel bad for not knowing any of those games, and I apologize.
Hey, well, guess what? You can get Transistor
It's on iPhone.
on iPhone.
Yeah.
That's what I was about
Wow.
to say.
That's where I played it, and I was like,
cool.
Kat's got the most impactful moment from an iPhone game.
Well,
Oh
it
my
wasn't an
God.
iPhone game. It's a Steam game first. So,
Yeah.
like,
Whatever
I don't
you
know if it
say,
was a
champ.
console game first, but
It's on PlayStation, apparently.
yeah. Well, I played it on Steam. Anyways, that art and the music in that game is so good. Like, I still to this day listen to that soundtrack, and like the artists that work on that game, like personal inspirations because it's beautiful. And like the whole game, the storyline is so front and center and so focused. Like, heavy spoilers ahead, so prepare to get it ruined for you. At the start of the game,
I'll live. I want to play it now, but
yeah, well,
it's fine.
it's fine. At the start of the game, someone tries to murder you with a sword, and it hits your boyfriend/husband instead, and his like soul gets sucked into the sword. So that sucks.
Oh.
But you know, you end up finding your husband's sword, and you go off to fix the problems of the world. And it's just like a really emotional game. Like the whole city is crumbling because of like the people that are in charge of the city trying to change it to what they want as opposed to what the people are doing. And it's like, it's very personal. Like you can go around and you can be like, this is my favorite food. And you're fighting all these robots, and you're meeting other people that have been affected by like this corruption and stuff like that. And then at the end, you kill yourself. I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit.
Like, you end up dead in the sword as well.
Sounds like the game for
was-
me.
Right? But man, it was so like, you get to the end of the game and you fix everything and everything's going good. You're like, I've done it. I've achieved. Like, I fixed everything. Everything's going to be fine. And then it brings you back and you end up at the start of the game, like the same location. I was like, hang on a second. This is where I started. And then I just like seppuku, murder myself, and end up dead in the sword with my husband. And like, it was just like the music and the pacing is so spectacular. I cried.
Cool.
Like, I legit was just like,
That's messed up.
everyone that I know that's played that game to completion has cried.
Okay.
Literally.
Might
Everyone that I know.
I need
So-
to shed a tear. I might play it.
Whatever, man. Judge me all you like. You asked me, so I told you. That was my most impactful moment when I
didn't-
fucking seppuku'd
I did
myself
not
at the end of
say a word.
Transistor.
It's
I did
okay.
not say a word, man.
I cried when I was 2, so I understand.
Alrighty, mate. Well, what's your most impactful game moment,
What's
bitch?
your big boo-hoo
Come
story
on,
then,
Mr.
Mitch?
I also
Big Dick.
cried.
What did you cry in My Little Pony Island Adventure 7 or
Yeah,
whatever the
shut
we're
up,
playing?
man. Don't
Game
pick
of
on
the
me
year.
about it.
Game of the century, mate. Now, come on. What do you got?
Mine was Gears of War 3. So
He definitely
And you
cried
shed a
in this.
tear.
I 100%
Sitting there drinking his fucking Rockstar energy drink with his cat backwards,
never-
just shedding a tear. Marcus Phoenix. It was sad.
I've actually never had any drinks. Anyway, so
Whatever you say.
my love for the game pretty much came. I didn't play the first one, so, well, I mean, I have now, but back when I first discovered like Gears of War, it was number 2. And that was back when, machinima was like cool and, that's, it's a thing. And I remember watching the trailer
long ago
and seeing like Marcus Phoenix like just dragging this locust corpse just like down this hallway. He just lifts it up, uses it as a bloody meat shield. This grinder just has this like minigun. He just turns and starts shooting at Marcus. The body's just like bits of flying blood everywhere. And I was like, this game's f***ing sick. Just losing my shit. And pretty much passion started from there. And the scene I'm more talking about that was impactful for me was in number 3. So you're in this, like the team, like Delta Squad is like in this scenario where pretty much they're surrounded by locusts. Oh, no, I think it's just Lambert, isn't it? I think it's just Lambert they're just surrounded by, not locusts.
Yeah, they're the gross, like...
Yeah, those are the guys that, like,
ones.
just, like, infected by that yellow goo crap.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But they're just surrounded. They're running out of, like, ammunition and guns. Dom's, like, the first one to run out of ammunition. He's just like, I don't know what to do. Like, pretty much screwed at this point. Like, I don't know. And pretty much, like, looks at, like, this, like, truck, tanker and shit, like, puts 2 and 2 together, when goes Sherlock Holmes on this freaking thing, just goes, I've got an idea.
It's not really Sherlock Holmes. It's literally 1 + 1 = 2.
That's Sherlock Holmes.
That's Sherlock, my guy.
That's some big math right there, dog. Like, deduction, yo.
Pretty much jumps in the truck, hauls ass down, like, the actual, like, this massive tunnel, turns around, says to Marcus, I'm fucking ending it. Like, myself and everyone with me. And I was
They blow a really manly kiss to each other out the window.
I was like, shit, I can't fucking deal with this. I'm like, Dom, don't do it. We've been like here fighting like the horde and the locust and the Lambent since day dot. Like, what the with you? And he's just hauling ass and he's just talking about like, how he's gonna see his wife soon. I'm like, I can't deal with this. And then just I was like, at this point, like, my lips are, like, shaking, and I'm, like,
Quivering.
tears, like, quivering. Just, like,
Pulling the cover of your eyes.
He just hits it, like, explodes everything. Everyone's, like, running, ducking for cover. And Marcus is just torn. He's just, like, so ripped up, because even though they're not related in any way, it was like, Dom was like a brother to Marcus.
It's the friendships we make along the way.
It was just, my heart was so torn. I was, like... so moved.
In Gears of War.
In Gears of War.
Right?
100% I cried. I was just, having fun, like, making a joke before. It's okay.
Yeah, you would have fought.
But, yeah, it was such a good game. Like,
Bloody children. Like, we're playing.
No.
We're doing this show with kids, man.
They can't stop crying.
Yeah, it's bloody spoonful of concrete, champ. You'll be right.
Cry. That's what we do.
I champed you already.
honestly, the game
It was very, very...
it was very
like,
moving. And the
sad.
game was just so, like, I mean, realistically, the game's, like...
Meathead Central.
Yes.
I pretty much,
That's what I mean.
I feel like I need to see a therapist because I, like, pretty much, like, enjoyed just the executions. I went out of my way just to, like... cut someone in half with like a chainsaw,
that's kind of
stab them in the gut with
So that was the impactful moment, right?
Was
the,
that-
having
the
a
violence.
chainsaw.
literally like impaling them with like a retro lantern, like holding them up in the air and then like using their weight to like get impaled further. And I was like, oh, get some!
So after Dom died and he cried, he got off.
I went on a
over-
murdering rampage. I just killed everything and everyone in my path.
Let's not set him off. We might go
Wow.
Gears of War on us.
Don't tempt me.
There's a truck out the front. There's so much suicide in this.
My
Mine.
impactful moment has to do with chainsaws too, but Elliot, please go ahead.
Oh, you can go first
Nah,
if you want.
dog, nah,
okay.
dog.
Well, mine
That's
was
so
going to
good.
be about God of War, just to keep the theme strong, but not realizing that A, Mitch hasn't played it, and B, Dylan is getting through it. So I don't want to
Look,
spoil
I
it
don't
for him.
cry in video games, bro. So
You
you
wouldn't
can
have
tell
cried
me
in
a
this
Wouldn't
spoiler.
cry at that moment.
You
anyway.
wouldn't
And-
cry. You'd be like,
So tough, man. Like heaps tough. Like,
and so mine is it's a pretty standard one, but the start of Mass Effect 2. It was just such an awesome moment, such an awesome like beginning to a game. You're with the crew that you're obviously with the whole way through the first game, and everything's going sweet, and you're looking for Geth. And then all of a sudden, this massive, that you don't know it at the time, but collector ship, which is like 150 times the size of the Normandy.
Small.
Comes out of nowhere and kills you, takes you out. And you just assume everyone on your ship's pretty much dead. You have to like tell, well, it can be Ashley Williams or it can be Liara or whoever you've had a relationship with in the previous game. You have to tell them to leave you, and then you just get like blown off the ship and fall into a planet. And it's so insane. Like, that's the start of the game. Obviously, Shepard's fine. You know, it's the whole point of the
They
game.
just
But
grow him back.
yeah, quite literally, they spend like billions of dollars remaking him and or her. And it's sick. I love that. I love that game. I love that intro.
That is hella dope.
I just find it funny that if you wanted to be badass about it, you could have been like, yo, it took you that big of a ship just to take me out. Man, you guys must really suck.
Well, you kind of
Didn't even kill me, boys.
That's kind of what it's like when you come across them again. Well, the third time, and you
That's how you
destroy
taunt
that
them.
shit.
You're just like, yeah, suck on this,
Yeah,
mate.
like out the side of the Normandy, just flipping in the bird.
No way, mooning them, man, from
Yeah.
spaceship to spaceship. What's that? It's just
Can you pick this up on your
Fem
senses, mate?
Shep's cheeks just on the glass, bro. Oh, man.
Good times. Yeah,
Yours,
so,
but
buddy.
all of you guys just told a massive story about your most impactful moment. I feel like mine's just like real small.
Dylan, you don't have to judge yourself like that. We'll
So-
judge you.
That's okay.
Here's the thing about me, y'all motherfuckers know who I am because all I ever do is talk about Resident Evil. Apparently,
What's
could
that
you
game?
tell? That's what I was going to talk about because I was trying to think of what was the most impactful thing for me. Right. So from when you say impactful, I tried to think. All right. Something that like elicited an emotional response from me. Something
Yeah.
that made me like sit back and be like, whoa,
Exactly. You
Like-
got it.
whoa.
That's the idea.
The one thing that sprung to mind, the one memory I have of playing games was literally that made me absolutely like stop playing, sit there and kind of think about my life for a moment was Resident Evil 4, right? So has anyone here played Resident Evil 4?
Nope.
No.
Son of a bitch.
Cat?
Okay.
Don't call me out like that.
Oy vey.
All right, you guys have seen some elements of it, right?
I've seen it, yeah.
Bits on the internet here and there. We're all familiar with a chainsaw wielding character, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a guy with like a bag on his head.
Yeah,
And he's kind of
little
just
Hessian
messed
sack.
up.
Sack boy.
Little Hessian sack
boy.
coming up with a bit of a chainsaw. So here's the thing. Like the whole game starts off where you walk into this random ass like old school Spanish village, right? And you're like, oh, okay, they're not zombies. It explicitly tells you that they're not zombies, but they're kind of like zombies. Like almost a
No,
little
they're
bit.
not zombies.
So you're walking around and then like you piss off one of them and then you're like, wait a second, all of these villagers who are literal peasants are trying to come and hit me with like hose and shit. You know what I mean? Like
Serfs.
sickles and fucking like scythes and stuff like that. They're just literally trying to murder you on sight. So you end up walking into this village and you're like, okay, I'm getting overrun. These motherfuckers everywhere. So you literally get into a building and then you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to push this bookcase against the door. I'm going to block this shit down. No one's coming in. You do that. You feel like you're a big dick baller. You feel like, yeah, cool. I got this shit on lockdown. But you're wrong, clearly, because this Hessian sack wearing motherfucker comes out of nowhere with his chainsaw coming down. You're like, okay. Shit. So yeah, he starts. So you are no longer safe in your little dome of invincibility because you're not. They cut the door down. You end up running away. And I was like, nah, cool, man. I got a shotgun. G, I'm cool. Like I'm gonna take his legs out. So I hit him in the leg. He gets up, and I'm like, it's cool, man. I'll just hit him in the face. Out of ammo. I remember this very, very well. So I point the gun at his head, and it goes click, and I'm like, shit. All right, I'm probably gonna take some damage from this. He's gonna hit me. Yeah. All right, he's gonna hit me. Yeah, he hit me all right. He literally comes up and like grabs you and then cuts your fucking head off. And then your head goes
Holy
off. You
crap.
get decapitated. It's not like the modern iterations of like decapitation where where it goes just off screen. It's like your head comes off. Like it is gone. And then you fall on your knees, blood spurting out everywhere, and then it's like game over. The first time that shit happened to me, oh my God, with the audio design, with the sound effects and everything that came up, I was sitting there and I just waited for like 10 minutes. I was playing this on PC and not the optimum way to play Resident Evil 4. Might mention that. But anyway, I was sitting there for a good long time thinking like, I've never experienced anything like that before. I never played a
mental.
game that featured a decapitation that was so visceral and so well executed in terms of both the visual and auditory design. I was sitting there shook. Shook.
Absolutely mortified. What have I
Legitimately.
just witnessed?
So that
That's
was my most impactful video game.
and you said
moment.
we all had some crazy story.
Yeah,
That
right.
is like that just lifted
Yeah,
the bar.
yeah. I mean, the whole idea, right, is to just like make it sound like it's going to be shit and
Yeah.
then pop out. You got a little bit.
Yeah, I
theatrics.
cried like a girl.
Reset
I mean,
expectations.
But I didn't cry though because I'm not a little bitch.
oh, okay, that's cool.
Didn't finish this sentence. So it's all right. I'm exonerated.
Fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was most impactful gaming topic. Topic what? But anyway, what's up next on the chopping block? What do we have coming up,
Well-
Elliot's son?
Well, we are running a bit short on time because of that lovely conversation about God of War.
So
Totes worth it.
We've got to stick to our time.
But I think what might be interesting is a little bit of update on the possibility of Cyberpunk 2077 getting a release date at
E3.
E3.
I hope so. I'm so ready to play that game.
Rumor has it that CD Projekt Red will be back at Microsoft's conference to show off a new trailer, possibly another gameplay trailer. I've heard things that people may be getting hands-on with the game behind closed doors this time.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. Where's our bloody E3 invite?
Where's my closed door?
We are clearly the biggest name in gaming podcasts, and they didn't think to invite us to E3. Microsoft, we are
me
right
up.
here.
It must have been a mistake. Someone clearly like messed up and forgot to send the invites out. Someone got fired.
Yeah. Hey,
Someone
Phil
ought to get
Spencer,
fired.
hit me up. Spawn Respawn PC
Philly,
on
yes.
Twitter.
Boy, we got you, fam. Yeah, dog.
Yeah, so there's rumblings that it might be in October. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I heard that.
Wow.
It seems
Yeah.
pretty close.
I can imagine them having a release date. I still don't think it's going to be this year.
That's quite early, October.
Especially like I was looking today, like CD Projekt Red is still hiring. Well, it says that they're hiring for environment artists
For Cyberpunk.
For Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless they're like, look, maybe they have got it finished and they're hiring for DLC because like the Witcher DLC was huge. It
Yeah,
was
the best.
enormous. So they could be already working on that. So it could be like I could be totally wrong, but they are still definitely hiring for, well, saying they're hiring for positions for it. So.
Yeah, pretty keen. I'm pretty keen to see. I hope they show the the gameplay at night this time. I think it'd be cool to
Yes.
see it, like the flip
Neon
side.
shit,
So I think it
yes.
was really cool that they were like, first trailer was daytime. I thought that was sick because usually when you think like Blade Runner and anything Cyberpunk, it's always at night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But this was during the day. It was like full, like just not what you expected, and it looked awesome. I can't wait to see that city at night.
It was amazing.
Oh,
Especially, I
man.
want to see some night driving, dog.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh my
That
God.
car looks
Yeah.
so fun.
I
Yeah.
know. Oh god, I can't wait to get my hands on that.
Are we?
My grabby
I
little
think we're
mitts.
looking less than 20 days now before E3. I think,
I
or maybe just a bit more than 20 days.
think 2021. Well, Microsoft conference is on the 9th, which is how many days are in this month?
Look, it doesn't
31.
matter, mate. It's
Today's the 21st of May,
Yeah.
so
it's about 3 weeks. Yeah.
way to date the podcast, you nut. I'm keen for that. I really want to see. I really want Sony to be like, this is what we're doing, because like they always have like the biggest part of the show floor at E3, and like
It's not happening, Kat.
I know, but they have like they
not allowed to
always
dip
do
out.
something really big. I want to see stuff. I want to see
They've
what's
got
coming.
nothing.
Can't swerve on E3.
What's coming is already been spoken about like 4 times. That's the problem.
Give me some real legitimate gameplay of Death Stranding. I want to see what
I know.
Yeah,
that
right?
crazy
Like,
little
I wanna
monkey
see that
Kojima's been
stuff.
working on. What's he been doing?
What's he been doing?
What have they've locked him in a cage and he's just making this shit. I want to see what he's up to.
No,
But
yeah,
What
I
else
mean,
is it?
on the flip side, there is some dude. What's his name? Browder from NeoGaf. So take this
Browder.
with the smallest grain of salt. Reckons he knows what's going down at Microsoft's conference. Some of these are pretty cool. Some of these are like, yeah, no shit, they're going to show that, but whatever. So it starts off with a list of what will for sure be taking place, and it's got Halo Infinite, no shit, with a release date for holiday 2020 though, so we'll see. Gears 5 with a release date, Gears Tactics with a release date, Ori with a release date, Bleeding Edge, new IP from Ninja Theory, which has been rumored quite a bit. I think it's going to be like a 4-player co-op space sci-fi thing.
Ooh.
They've been working on it for 6 years, so this is way before they got bought out.
Damn.
So I think Microsoft have gone, you keep doing what you're doing. Also
You,
heard
baby.
that their studio's gone from like 30 people to 150 people or something like that since
That's
they
pretty big.
got purchased. So could be completely
Large.
different numbers, but The Outer Worlds release date and a new trailer. Fair enough, they're now owned by Microsoft. Cyberpunk, Age of Empires 4.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I with that hard. I love me some Age of Empires.
Same, man.
boy.
Oh, it's going to be sick if that happens.
Oh.
Also, is it Relic that make Age of Empires? Because apparently they're going to be a new acquisition.
No way. Don't ask me because I just
Relic's
work here,
pretty
but that's
big
all
for
Yeah.
like the like strategy games. Like they
Yeah,
did
I
Dawn
think-
of War and stuff like that as well. So
Oh, right, yeah.
like,
right. Ah, there you
yeah.
go.
I love
Um,
Dawn of War, dude.
Fable,
hell yeah.
new
Oh, yeah,
Fable.
Fable, yeah.
This is like in the going to be announced bit, which I guess everyone's like thinking it will. That's going to blow people away,
What,
especially
new
if it is
Fable?
Playground. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I loved Fable 1. I loved Fable 2.
Yeah.
I left it
3
there.
was my favorite.
I really
played-
liked
Oh my
3 as well.
God.
Played 3. I didn't get super into it.
I think 2
Oh, I
was
was
the
so
best.
into it.
that's fair.
But I think the most thing I spent most of my time in Fable 2 just literally just pouring
working?
beers.
Yeah.
Just pouring beers and always hearing the guy go literally at midnight just going, the time is very late.
I used to do I used to do blacksmithing a lot in that
Yes.
game. Like for
Oh,
hours,
yeah.
like making so much
Were you
money.
a slumlord? Did you go around buying up all the property
Yeah.
and jacking the rates up?
Oh man.
And then you just leave your
Such a-
Xbox on for like a day, and then
Dude.
you have like $1 million for all the
Yes.
money that's coming. I think that was in
And you
number
could
3.
choose to
but
like save your dog or get rich or I don't know,
Yeah.
bring people back from the
Right
dead
at
or
the
some
end,
shit.
yeah.
That was so funny.
I
It was a
love the
great
fact
game.
that you could like, if you were good, you were like glowing and literally radiant and
Yeah.
like angelic. And
if
if
you
you were
were
evil,
bad, you
you
had, like,
grew
horns. I think
grew
you had
horns.
yeah.
If that comes back and it's like fully detailed like in number 2, that's going
There
to
was
be
a
so
character
sick.
in that game who like spoke like an idiot, and then someone gave him a thesaurus, and he was talking about like a thesaurus or whatever. Like he just kept screwing stuff up, and you go and talk to him throughout the game, and each time you go back and talk to him, his vocabulary gets better and better, and he just starts using like bigger and bigger words. It was so weird. Oh, what a cool game though.
So
Literally,
good.
the only reason why, not the only reason why, but part of the reason why I like number 3 was both of you will like this, Dylan and Elliot, is the fact that you got to like customize how you looked.
Yeah, rip me. I guess.
No, you'll understand why when I say it is like you had like I used to be able to like customize your colors and I like had these nice fancy like jackets on, like soldier looking jackets in like green and velvet. I felt like a lord. I legit felt like a lord.
Cat, you wouldn't know what that feels
Cat's
like.
the fashion one. And
No, but you always say lord. All right, that's the reason why.
Dylan f***ing dubbed me Primo Lord earlier tonight. What are you on
Yeah.
about?
Get that again? That because he uses the word lord. I don't want me to tell you.
You know what
It's
else
pretty lordly.
is exciting though? The Sony Microsoft partnership.
Oh man,
Yeah, I was
I'm not even halfway through, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
No,
Sorry.
that's
Keep
okay.
rolling through.
Sorry,
I'll smash
Shut
through the
up.
rest of this.
My bad.
More
cut me
content for
loose.
Sea of Thieves. Gameplay
care.
and release date for Battletoads.
Don't
Battletoads.
Oh, I only care because people are going to start calling GameStop again and going to start asking for Battletoads. Does anyone remember that
Yeah, I
thing?
do.
No.
Yeah, but now that they can say it with like an air of legitimacy, so there's that. But
Okay.
I don't really care much about the game itself.
Yeah, I've never played it, so.
What else we got?
Apparently, announcement for Project xCloud, new announcement. An announcement for the next gen Xbox with baseline of specs. New Mech Assault, new Forza Motorsport, Here we go, Dylan. You'll like this. New Capcom game, rumored to be Resident Evil 3 remake or maybe even a new Dino Crisis.
Ladies and gentlemen, my dick is rock hard.
In conclusion, dick hard.
Veiny. All right.
And the last one, which is... Oh, so there's two more. Possible... These are small chance that's happening. Possible purchase announcement of IO Interactive, Asobo, and Relic. I don't know
Relic?
who Asobo are, but Relic are the Age of Empires.
Yeah.
IO are Hitman. Don't know who Asobo are. The last one, though, if this happens, my dick will be rock hard. Reportedly in development at Rare with Delilah Studios, a new Perfect Dark. Oh, give me that shit.
If they had like the 4-player co-op shit,
Hey, you know what
had all of-
Asobo did?
primo stuff.
A Plague Tale.
Oh, for real?
Apparently.
Which is
I've heard-
apparently
Beautiful
great.
as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
yeah. Everything I've heard about it is like, this is a Game of the Year contender.
Really?
Resident Evil 2 came out this year, guys. Yeah, that's going to take
no
place.
one,
True.
like,
No way.
no one that I watch has played a Plague Tale. Like, I really wanted to watch someone play it and decide whether I want it or not, because I was super on the fence. Like, do I grab it or not? Because I'm
Was
poor
it
AF.
a
But
full release, or is it like a cheaper one?
I think it's 40 US or something.
Yeah,
I think
I think
anyway.
so.
Because
yeah.
I
think
might
it's
take it upon
60
myself to with that one.
I think it's
Yeah.
$60 for us.
Yeah.
Oof.
But
ugh.
Watch ACG's review, because his reviews are always really,
Pretty
Yeah.
decent.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just wanted to watch some and then go from there. Because
Yeah.
I didn't know if I would enjoy it or not. But
You're
I've
still a
heard it's
streamer,
good.
aren't you? You could stream
Well, I could
it.
stream it, baby.
But
Maybe,
wow,
If no
what
one's
was that?
streaming it,
maybe you're right.
Get on
no
that.
one's streaming it. Just put it out there and then be really sad. No, it looks really,
rack up
really
them
good.
views.
It looks
Yeah.
really good. It looks really brutal as well, and I love that shit. Like gory corpses,
Mm.
half gnawed on. Looks
Yeah,
great.
that's messed up.
I like
rats.
Technic,
it.
boys.
Love that shit.
Cool.
That was all of the Xbox stuff?
That's it. Yeah. If you want to
That's just
All right,
quickly
sorry. Then
run
back
through
to
this Sony
Microsoft and Sony
thing.
partnership.
That's pretty full on. Like, it sounds like it's a much bigger deal than it is, but aren't they only really starting to work together for like the cloud-based
Yeah,
technology side of
absolutely.
things?
And I just I just think it's a good.
It's good.
step. Like,
Yeah,
it's just-
it
it's just
opens
cool.
the door to other collaboration,
Exactly,
no doubt. But
yeah.
like, people are talking about how they're like, there's going to be no more PlayStation.
Oh, I know.
There's going to be no more Xbox. It's going to be called
Yeah, people are
the
freaking
Play
out.
Cube or some shit like that. I don't know, man.
People are
blowing it out
like,
of proportion.
Station.
also pretty sure Microsoft already like used Sony's technology to have a friggin' Blu-ray drive in their
Yeah.
console.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of been going on for a while already.
Yeah,
but
it's-
this is
It's how the technology industry works.
Exactly.
I mean, no
Absolutely.
one company
wait.
makes every component
Exactly.
of electronics.
Wait, if it's called if they combine their knowledge together,
Triple
both
X
Sony
station.
and Xbox, and they Microsoft, and they combine it together, they could beat the PC Master Race. They could both
PC
get
Master
their,
Race is shattered,
Yeah, so
They
mate.
could
Microsoft can beat
literally-
itself. Yeah, cool.
get their freaking
right.
dicks out and just be
Epic-
like, oh, but we're the Master Race. Oh.
Alrighty.
my God.
You've
Alrighty.
seen that video,
Ladies
right?
and gentlemen, we reached rock bottom here tonight on Spawn
hang on.
Respawn.
Have you not seen even they LED? Okay, you're gonna fucking die.
Well, you've seen the video, right? Where
Have you seen?
No.
Have you seen the video that they just has been popped out of Sony's new load times?
Yeah, actually, I have.
You don't get that shit on
Together.
PC. Even you can have a high spec PC and it's still
But
it's pretty
Its
good,
dick is not that large.
right?
I mean, considering-
Ooh.
Okay, the video I'm talking about, where it was it's like a cartoon sort of version of Xbox and Sony fighting on a ship, and out of nowhere, this flying PC custom
Yes.
PC comes in. This guy's got godly hair, and he's muscly, and there's this bulge, and he's just silly Xbox and PlayStation peasants. That's pretty much what Xbox and PlayStation are gonna be like together when they combine. It's just gonna be so much.
I feel like I
fucking meme lord.
shouldn't have to vocalize this, but they're not gonna do that.
No, they're not. They're not.
That's not.
it's
That's
just
just a dream,
happening.
okay?
It's just
Competition is bad. I mean, it's good,
Good
for
for
the industry.
consumers, bruh.
And it's literally just Sony using Azure servers. And
Yeah.
Literally though, it's
AI,
such a
yeah.
business move. Hey,
Yeah.
it's not even anything to do with the real game side of
No,
things.
they're
but
just
other than their hosting.
we are collaborating.
And now there's all
Everyone's
these articles.
I mean, Microsoft and Sony, no way.
All these articles coming out PlayStation didn't even know that Sony were doing this, and they've gone behind like Sony, like the parent company have gone behind like the PlayStation side of things back. And it's like, that is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard.
Legitimate.
I'm sure they're
sensationalism.
not. Yeah, totally. I'm sure they're not like, oh my god, I can't believe you partnered with Xbox.
They're not gonna, like-
well, because it's not Xbox to begin with. It's Azure, but it's
What is
just
Microsoft? But it's
Yeah.
like different aspects of a huge corporation,
exactly.
right? And it's not like they're gonna get dragged into like some Yakuza boss thing and like Sony being like, you must pay penance and like cut off their pinky finger or
it's
some
like-
shit like that.
We need blood.
You must show you are sorry.
Pretty much right
Phil
now.
Spencer rocks up with tattoos all over him. Like,
The
I am
dragon.
Yakuza now.
Massive dragon tattoos like we collaborated.
Pretty much PlayStation right now is Kylo Ren and Sony is Finn. He's just yelling out, "Traitor!"
And he's just real large the whole time.
Ugh.
Oh my
like it.
god. This has probably been the best podcast we've ever done, but
Yeah, not to suck our own dicks or blow smoke up our own chimney here, but you know.
You know?
now's probably as good a time as ever to end it on a high note.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
Pop it to a close.
probably gonna park this one right here. I think we've landed the plane, so to speak. But yeah, we might do our little wrap ups if that's G with
Yep.
thee.
Yeah, I guess that's
yeah.
okay.
With thee.
So my name is Dylan Smith, and you can find me on Twitter at Citizen Smith 14. 14.
Yeah, you got it.
They had to literally hold their hands up to do that for me. Don't at me on Twitter because I don't check it. But anyway,
Don't at me, bruh.
and this is
I'm Elliot Porter. I'm on Twitter as Direct Gaming with a C and a K, and also on YouTube as well. Hit me up.
And I'm Mitchell Barnsley. You can find me on Twitter. We'll put the actual username on the
In the
link
description.
in the
box.
because I
description
cannot
below.
pronounce it.
promise you we won't. But
Mitchell
that's
Barnsley too. I do it every week.
okay. You can,
Thanks, Elliot. You're the star of the team.
Woo!
And you can find me as CapCat literally everywhere. Like that's
Literally.
It. That's it. KAPKAT.
On Tumblr.
Actually,
on
no, you can't find me.
MySpace.
On
Grindr.
TikTok.
Sorry, I lied.
Grindr.
Yeah, find me on Bumble, Pornhub,
on
everywhere. You know
on
that?
lonelyseniors.org. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my favourite
Find me
of
on
all the social
Glassdoor. You know?
Glassdoor.
Just writing reviews for companies I don't work for. That's what I do.
Oh my god.
And you can find us all at Spawn Respawn PC on Twitter. And obviously, you already listened to YouTube, so thanks for watching.
giddy up. All right.
Yeah, boy.
This is Spawn Respawn. Peace.
Bye.
Deuces.